It doesn't do it justice in the video, but this thing's huge, and now I need to figure out a place to put it. I was going to stick it over here, up on top of this cabinet, but it's a lot wider than that, so I need to build a box for it anyway, so it's just going to protrude off of the front face. Now I just need to build a box. And that's okay, because building a box means I'll be a real woodworker. So, challenge accepted. In order to do that, I found a piece of furniture that was in the shape of a perfectly good box, and I tore it all apart. So here we go. Kind of just messing around with getting it set up and locked into place and everything, and I've fallen down a bit of a rabbit hole because it doesn't seem to be perfectly square, and now I'm trying to figure out why, and so far I don't know. The frame is tight and it looks square. I put put these right up into the corners. I've checked these for square and I put them into the corners, and so it seems to be square as far as the frame goes, but I try to cut a square out of that wood and then it doesn't fit going back in this way. So this cutout piece is not square when the original was. So I'm thinking it might have to do with the belt tension. Alright, I've got my calipers and now I'm going to measure this gap and that gap and see which one's tighter. That one is exactly 0.6 inches. I don't know if you can see that. Exactly 0.6. Also exactly 0.6. Totally, perfectly, exactly the same. So the belt tension is exactly the same on both sides. The frame is square. What in the world is going on? What are the chances we can cut a test piece that will be square now? Let's see what happens. It's not square still. It's not square. I don't know. I'm still stumped. Alright, I'm just going to cut this little piece and use it as a squaring tool to measure both sides on the gantry and see if it's equally spaced. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that is up against that nice and tight. Look at the difference. That's a couple millimeters off down there. Watch this. I'll slide it out and then push it back in. Okay. To get it level with that. And then here, look how far off that is. That's not level at all. That's the problem. The gantry is not square, so I need to adjust it separately. And now I need to know how to do that. Maybe it's in the manual. Let's see what we find. It's time to take it down. Okay, that might be progress. Underneath the machine on this rod, I'm gonna loosen this coupler so that I can wiggle just one end without wiggling the whole thing. Because right now with this thing tight, you move one end, it's gonna turn that rod. That rod will turn the pulley on the other end, and it's locked in place with the other side through this rod. So that's what I gotta break in order to be able to adjust just one side, because this is longer than that. So this should get it done. Alright, now I can wiggle it. So this is loose now, and I can wiggle it quite independently. So now I will use the spacers. Okay, that's a lot better than it was, I think. Let's go ahead and get it back up there. Alright, let's do another test. Hopefully the last test. Okay, cross your fingers. That's a lot better than it was. Yeah, that's a lot better than it was. There is still a gap, but that's very tolerable. So I think I'm gonna go with it. It's again, it's not quite perfect, but I can fit the box in the box without really having any difficulty. So I'm gonna call it good enough.